Доктор Теллер, приветствую вас в здании Министерства атомной энергии. Очень извиняюсь, что такая путаница какая-то получилась. Юлий Борисович вас ждет.
We're glad to see the building of the Russian Federation Minister for Atomic Energy. Yuliy Borisovich is waiting for us, and we're very sorry that there was a bit of misunderstanding.
Пойдем.
Our translators are on their way to other people.
Юлий Борисович, Khariton.
Glad to meet you. It's very pleasant.
Thank you.
The possibility to see you and have a little talk. It's,
And to talk a little bit.
let's sit down there.
Thank you. Thank you. It is very kind of you to come along this of Saturday.
The last days where there was a possibility to come to Moscow, and I yesterday evening I sat in the train, and today it was walking and was here. And now I'm very glad that
We should talk about the things we ought to talk about. What should we talk about?
Well, there are several things about which your opinion is very interesting to me.
Steve, can you hear all right?
We can hear fine, sir.
Why don't you sit on the couch?
For example,
Will exist.
will exist for rather many years, and the problem of безопасности, of safety is one of the most important things that we must think about all the time. And rather near to plutonium.
Uranium-233
Yes.
is less dangerous than plutonium chemically,
Yes.
but more dangerous than plutonium for radiation. And I do not know what the answer is. A part of my quick answer I have given you.
Sorry?
A part of a quick answer, of an at once answer, I have given you. An other part that comes to my mind is that U-233 may have the advantage of the strong radioactivity. Much more difficult. And handling it by people who are not well trained is also more difficult.
Yes.
So it is an interesting idea to replace plutonium by 233, and I think it is one of the things we may well discuss.
One of the направлений
Directions.
как?
Directions. directions.
Many years, many maybe hundreds of years that nuclear arms, the arms. That's also a thing which needs all the time of thinking how to make it most safe.
All of us in the laboratories completely agree. In addition, for the future of nuclear explosions, not nuclear arms, nuclear explosions, I want to mention another function. Particularly, if the work will become not secret, so that all scientists can work on it. Example.
Yes.
We both, we can compress iron twofold, tenfold.
Yes.
But we do not know what happens to ferromagnetism, because the temperature is too high for that. If we could devise means to get high pressure with lower temperatures, we could get very interesting scientific results.
I see.
And I would be delighted if the situation would arise where our laboratories could discuss such matters.
Yes, I think.
I just try to give a small example. The high pressures are unique. You cannot get them in other ways. And I think a new instrument for knowledge must be used. In Dubna.
Yes.
Do you know the topic we discussed?
No,
May I tell you then what we discussed?
I would be very glad to hear.
Because
Well,
in weaponry, in weapons,
in what?
in weapons,
Oh, yes.
in the question of weapons, we are very much interested.
Doctor, one of those is tea and one of those
This is coffee, this is tea, so
Which
The
is
smaller one
please
is
coffee.
These are important matters.
most important. Plutonium, uranium-233. Global protection against limited strikes. GPALS. A new dictator,
Yes.
like Saddam Hussein,
Yes.
like somebody
Oh, yes,
similar,
yes, indeed.
gets atomic bombs. He will not get 100,000. He will get 10. He will get 100. He already has missiles. 100 missiles with atomic bombs and no defense is terrible.
Yes.
100 missiles and good defense is quite possible to make. And what we discussed partly is the two-sided interest in one part of this defense. The part of quickly and reliably detecting the launching of a missile. Important portion. With the advantage that it seems possible to do something about it soon and possibly together, jointly. If you do one, why don't you do both? And to do both is better. Not only because you divide the expense, but also if you look for missiles and none come for 3 years, then your equipment becomes rusty. Then there may be mistakes in your equipment that you have not detected. If you use the equipment all the time for observing other things, then the equipment remains young and can be used when the time comes. So what, more or less correct?
Very correct. The discussions were very general, and we were looking to see what possibilities there were for Russian and United States together.
Well, I hope that about the addition of all the Duma discussions.
More about it? Professor Barenboim. Velikov.
Livermore were represented and are ready to be involved.
Well, I will read it all, and I hope that we can also.
You see, the results could be important, but also working together will bring us closer.
And there is another thing,
Yes.
which it seems to me that we must do something in that part. You see, the nuclear arms, it's understandable that it is a terrible thing, and the attention of many people is but there are some quite other things which are also dangerous for the mankind. And
Such
it
as?
seems really very dangerous thing.
May I say?
He mentioned that he had there with him a child, his child, and he found that in most of English families there are 3 or 4 children. Nation as Englishmen do not understand this and do very dangerous.
I want to say a few things about that. In the United States, this is a very important topic. There is a lot of discussion about it. So that is the first part. If we talk about population, then every man and every woman is interested in any case. So that is second point. Third point. I am not convinced that this is a danger. It may be, but I'm not sure. The question was raised in the beginning of the 19th century. There is a population increase. I believe a little less than 1% a year. But all of it, or more, it can make of foreigners Americans. People who come there very frequently feel completely at home. I think that the population problem has very many sides, including emotional sides. And I also feel that we who are working in technology can bring about possibility of good living for more people. And I am more interested in that. For instance, what we do in Dubna last few days. Find facts about how the many people change the atmosphere. Outside in the atmosphere than was 100 years ago. Most people believe that this is due to human activity. Because quite a few people believe that it is due to other reasons, like instruments. Then we can get warning. Is this human activity due to too many humans dangerous, or is it not? So, and in partial and certain answers, as we can get them from observation. How to put them together into a solution, that is the business of everybody.
Yes.
May I ask you a quite difficult question, and perhaps it is not at all proper to discuss it. But what can you tell in the former Soviet Union about the control over atomic explosives, particularly the small ones?
Particularly
The small explosives.
small explosives.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think I know that are these under control? Or are these the business of a dozen different decision makers? Perhaps we should not talk about that. But that is a question about which many people are worried. Perhaps we should forget about it or postpone it for another discussion.
Well, here I did. You are talking about the control on small explosives.
On what we call tactical nuclear bombs. By small, I don't mean very small. I mean 1 kiloton, 10 kilotons.
You can see that I know good enough that the rather long time we had practically no explosions, even small.
Very.
That I can tell you that I'm sure that there no such things.
Простите, господин Талев просил узнать, как обеспечивается безопасность, как хранение обеспечивается.
Is understood
Good.
Quite well, and we are discussing these things, and I can assure you that we understand very well the importance and the necessity of having a very good mm, a very good means to have it in good conditions.
Yeah.
Not all is done about it, but we feel it also very well, and we are thinking about doing very strong rules and using the modern technique for using I am absolutely согласен.
Agree.
Что?
Agree. Agree, maintain.
Да, yes, but we are thinking about it, and I'm sure that as soon as possible it will be working.
I don't have many opportunities to change things, but I may have some. And I would like to know from you, in what way we in the United States can be of help for continued and improving relations, stability, progress. Any suggestions or any questions?
Yes, I will especially see the situation. That is a question which worries me also, as well as you are worried. And I think that that's really one of the directions of the work which must be done in contact. So that I should
I forget names all the time.
Sir, at my age also.
At
University.
your age.
My age.
Yeah.
Then 15 years before I am 100 years old. And so there is still some opportunity. I have heard from English friends that they will have the first model of a controlled fusion approximately for my 100th birthday. And I told them that they should hurry. Peaceful users of nuclear explosives under appropriately safe conditions, could come back. I would like to have you.
И по его мнению, это направление нужно продолжать, и продолжать мирные ядерные взрывы для народно-хозяйственных целей, ну, естественно, при условии, что все меры безопасности соблюдены.
Doing a mistake
Yes.
sometimes.
Yes.
But as far as I can see, there is a possibility of getting good enough knowledge if enough attention to that problem will be
Was that you have these amounts in one place, you have the possibility of nuclear explosions in another place, and the transport can have accidents. So I think that's a very good suggestion. I don't know, have we perhaps exhausted the time that we should take?
Several minutes, whatever you care for, sir. It's now 11:30.
Pretty close.
yes. I know that you are
It's a get-together of Hungarians from all over the world. And I have promised to come to that half a year ago.
yes, now
And it is a great pleasure.
yes.
Perhaps there is one point on which you might want to add something. By visits to
one of the parts of science which in which Russia holds the upper place
Yes.
for at first Kapitsa, when
Yes.
he was in Cambridge, where he had several hundreds, thousands
1,000 Gauss.
Gauss, and I I would like to tell you one thing which is not of scientific interest, but from just a rather interesting case. Visit of a famous American scientist, Robert Wood,
R.W. Wood.
to Cambridge. And indeed, Rutherford was very interested to show something so that he should show that in England they also can make interesting things. And he was sure that the most interesting and is the case of strong magnetic fields.
Very good.
And so Khariton told me that I could come to his laboratory at 4 o'clock when there must be wood. And so wood came with Rutherford and several also heads of Cambridge, and there was such a construction. There was a little, but just of that kind, but as I forgot the word, but with Duar, a little Duar vessel in that form, and there was staying glass rod, sink, a thin glass rod in that. I forgot the real word for this form. And then there was a spiral where there should be a strong magnetic field, and so people stood there, and Khariton has put some liquid oxygen into this vessel, and then his generator began to rotate, and then he pressed the button, and this glass rod was and the oxygen which was left there. As he has said to Khariton, your health. You know, when a drop of water is placed on a hot pot.
Yes. Boils.
Yes, and so would be a good answer for the
Do you know that Wood was a poet?
Вуд писал стихи. Вы знаете об этом?
Oh, no, I don't know.
He published a book of poetry, of verses.
That I didn't know.
And you know, it was full of the really silly jokes, but so many of them. Write the poem quickly. Write it down and leave it here.
Your bare handwriting. All right.
Very few can a pecan from a toucan. Here's a new plan. Extreme agility. Whereas you pick with greatest ease now, I may mix up the pecans and the toucans, I can't confirm. No,
Yeah, toucan was the thinking.
I mix them up. Read it.
To pick
To pick a toucan
from a tree.
Requires extreme agility. Whereas you pick with greatest ease the pecans from the pecan trees. It's such an easy thing to do. Even a toucan, he can too. Is it without leaving some damage? Please excuse me.
Нет, вы переведите, у русских примет очень хороший. Когда бьется бокал, это к счастью.
As a Russian habit, is if something is broken, some glassware, this is for the good, you know, for
That is for luck.
sure.
So shall I say good luck for our next meeting?
Well, yes, I must repeat that I was very, very glad that we could meet and have this little talk. And I wish everything the best for you for the next years. Long voyage to Budapest.
Oh, thank you.
Memory of our
Thank you.
meeting.
Very nice. Where do you want me to sign it?
Anyway.
Thank you, Vicky.
Once more, best wishes, best wishes.
Кого?
Bill,
You need to stop in the restroom. I'm gonna say that. We'll take care of it.
Спросить не надо.
No, I don't think we need one, thanks. Follow this gentleman.
Bill,
Yes, sir.
my book you
I
have?
have your book. This is the poem that he recited, sir. You can go.
I could have, sorry.
Exemption.
I invite you in the very short language.
I could have told a more scheduled story, but I have left. I thought we would. Okay, do we know?